The shocking truth about why black people always keep plastic bags. You think it's just a bag, but it's really a story of survival. Picture this: a quiet kitchen somewhere in the South. The hum of the refrigerator, the faint smell of bleach and pine sol. You open the cabinet under the sink and there it is. A mountain of plastic bags, tucked inside one another like Russian dolls. Some from Walmart, others from Kroger or the corner store. Every single one saved. To the untrained eye, it looks like clutter. But to anyone who grew up black in America, it's a symbol of something far deeper. History, memory, and survival stitched together by necessity. People laugh about it online. They call it the black bag collection, the infamous plastic bag in a bag stash under the sink or in the pantry. They make memes. They joke that it's genetic, that all black families seem to be born with a drawer of plastic. But what they don't talk about is why. They don't talk about where that instinct came from. They don't talk about the generations before plastic bags even existed, when black families learned, through centuries of deprivation, to save everything that might be useful tomorrow. Because this habit didn't start with plastic, it started with poverty. During slavery, enslaved Africans were given nothing. No property, no storage, no security. The rags they slept on, the scraps they ate, even the burlap sacks they wore, all were repurposed and reused until they fell apart. There was no waste because there couldn't be. The survival instinct was simple. You save what you have because you may not get another. When freedom came, poverty followed. The sharecroppers of the Reconstruction era reused tin cans as cups, old flour sacks as dresses, and brown paper bags as book covers for school children. Nothing went to waste because waste was a luxury. That mentality passed through generations like an heirloom. Grandmothers taught daughters to rinse out jars, flatten foil, fold grocery bags, and keep them for next time. There was no conversation about it, just an unspoken rule. Never throw away something you can use again.
You don't throw these plastic bags away. We will use them later.
And beneath that simple lesson was the quiet truth of racial inequality, that the world did not hand things back to black families easily. By the time the 1970s rolled around, the plastic bag replaced the paper one. Cheap, convenient, and everywhere. But in black homes, it became more than packaging. It was a tool. A trash liner, a lunch sack, a carry-all for hair grease, a hot comb, or church shoes. It was the grocery bag that doubled as a gym bag, the emergency rain cap when the weather turned on you, the way you sent leftovers home after Sunday dinner, the way you packed your cousin's school supplies or your child's overnight things or your mother's prescriptions. It wasn't just storage, it was a safety net. And maybe that's why black families didn't see those bags as disposable, because nothing in their world ever truly was. When your community was shut out of generational wealth, when redlining trapped you in neighborhoods the city didn't bother to clean, when the grocery store left town and left you with overpriced corner marts, those free bags became small acts of control. A resource you didn't have to beg for, something you could keep, own, and use again. Under the sink, that mountain of bags was more than habit. It was insurance. Against uncertainty, against needing to buy something you couldn't afford, against a world that treated your needs as expendable. It was the quiet language of survival that said, we will make do. We will save what we have. We will not be caught empty-handed. The psychology behind it runs deep. Black people have lived for centuries under systems designed to take their land, their credit, their savings, their safety. Saving those bags became a kind of muscle memory. A whisper from the past that said, keep it, baby. You never know when you'll need it. And that whisper never went away. Even today, it shows up everywhere. In the kitchen drawers, in the cars, in the closets of every auntie who refuses to throw away a good thing. Some bags hold other bags. Some hold combs and scarves and church vans. Some hold baby clothes or recipes or family letters. And though outsiders might call it hoarding, what they don't see is that this is what generational resilience looks like when you've had to survive with less. It's not just about the bag, it's about the era it came from. The plastic bag became widespread in the 1980s, right around the same time the crack epidemic and Reaganomics gutted black neighborhoods. As factories closed and jobs vanished, the dollar had to stretch. Families reused everything: detergent bottles, sandwich bags, twist ties. The plastic grocery bag became one more soldier in that fight to make the dollar last another day. It carried lunch to work, clothes to the laundromat, and dignity in a system that tried to strip it away. And here's the irony. Long before the world started talking about sustainability and zero waste, black people were already living it. Long before it became trendy to reuse and recycle, black homes were the blueprint. Environmental consciousness wasn't born in a climate summit. It was born in survival. The same people mocked for saving junk were living the principles others would later brand as green. Today, that same habit endures. Even when we can afford to buy fancy trash liners or reusable totes, that under-sink stash still exists. Not because we need it, but because it feels wrong to throw it away. It's almost sacred. A quiet reminder that every generation before us had to hold on to what little they had. That pile of bags is a monument to the black experience in America, to the mothers and fathers who made miracles out of scarcity. Every crumpled bag tells a story. The Walmart bag that carried Sunday dinner to your cousin's house. The Target bag holding a fresh press and curl. The corner store bag with frozen Kool-Aid cups sold for 50 cents each to neighborhood kids. They're relics of community, of care, of never wasting what could still serve another purpose. The shocking truth is this: what looks like a pile of plastic is really a history lesson. It's the product of centuries of resourcefulness in the face of systemic neglect. It's the living proof that even when given the scraps of society, black people have found ways to create order, value, and purpose. And so when you open that cabinet under your grandmother's sink and see the pile, don't laugh. Understand it. Because those bags tell you something about who we are: survivors, innovators, caretakers of our own. The world may throw things away, but we've always known that what you save today might just save you tomorrow. Scope News tells the truth. Here are the facts. The culture of saving and reusing items in black households dates back to slavery and sharecropping, where scarcity demanded creativity. By the 20th century, these habits became ingrained survival mechanisms passed down through generations. The 1970s introduction of plastic bags coincided with economic decline in black communities, reinforcing reuse culture. Environmental studies have since shown that African Americans are disproportionately exposed to pollution and waste, yet remain pioneers of sustainable living through necessity rather than trend. Interviews and oral histories collected from black elders reveal that saving what you have was never optional. It was cultural survival. Legal disclaimer. This Scope News video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It explores cultural and historical themes based on verified historical context and publicly available sociological research. Viewer discretion is advised, as certain topics may involve sensitive themes related to race, poverty, and historical inequality. The content aims to preserve cultural history accurately while acknowledging limitations in available records and images. Scope News does not claim universal representation of all individuals or communities discussed.